All right. Okay, I wanted to have some music playing, but it ain't happening yet. So here's what we're gonna do. Okay. Welcome back to What She Says Sports. Okay, I've been live over here before, but it is imperative that I get over here and update y'all about what's going on. I go live at 10:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. But today, what are we talking about? We're talking about how Deshaun Watson is getting ready to return to practice for the Browns and what that means for Shedeur Sanders, who is expected to play the last 3 or 4 games. Now, I have a question and I want to see how many people are planning to boycott the Browns. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know if you're planning to boycott the Browns this weekend. I don't know if y'all know, but former NFL player Akeem Talib has basically said fans need to boycott. Now, people have insinuated, they've talked around it, but he had the courage to say it out loud and call for a boycott, something that could shake up things with the Cleveland Browns. Now, if you know anything about Cleveland Browns, tailgating, they have a heavy presence. They have VIP tailgating. They have a lot of black tailgaters. They have a lot of white tailgaters. They have a lot of very diverse audience for tailgaters. But with a former NFL player calling out after fans have said over and over and over that Kevin Stefanski is not treating Shedeur fairly, that he is intentionally holding back Shedeur Sanders from QB1. Fans have decided for the Ravens game on Sunday to boycott. I love the idea. So let me know in the comments if you plan on boycotting. Hey Valerie, how you doing? Hey everybody that's already in the chat, how you doing? So let me know your thoughts. Are you planning on boycotting? Are you planning on watching the game? And this could be pivotal. It could actually be pivotal. Now understand, Deshaun Watson is expected to return after the Ravens game. He can officially go back to practice before they play the 49ers, right up until they play the Bears for a 21-game evaluation. And if he practices well, he can play at the same time Shedeur Sanders is expected to play. So that could put a hold on to Shedeur Sanders having 4 games to himself to do what? To ball out. Again, who's boycotting the Cleveland Browns versus the Ravens? Tickets have gone down to what? $4, in some cases $6. I think I checked earlier today, they were $16. So fans that have already purchased tickets are starting to offload their tickets. But will they boycott the tailgates? People don't realize if you are not at those games, Cleveland Browns have one of the most successful and popular tailgates that are out there. In fact, they have VIP tailgates. They have fans that have gotten married at the tailgate parties. So the tailgate parties are huge. So who's boycotting the Browns game versus the Ravens? Who's boycotting? Who's boycotting the tailgates? These are all valid questions. And fans are actually willing to boycott because of how Shedeur is being treated. I think it's a good idea. But are fans going to be able to withstand all of the fun that I've watched them have at the tailgates? Are they really going to stay home, or are they not going to go to the game but go to the tailgate? See, everything has to come to a screeching halt for this Ravens game. Will it make a difference if fans tailgate and boycott the game? Let me know. What matters most? Fans' loyalty for the Browns has always been there. This would be probably the first time since Shedeur has arrived that there is an organized boycott to stay home from the game. I'm saying, don't forget, stay away from the tailgating too. You can't have it one way and show up to party. You just got to stay home in total. So that's what it is. So let me know your thoughts about how you feel about the boycott, if you think it will be successful. Now, there's something else that's on the horizon. And to be honest with you, I think it could be the game changer. I believe if the boycott and the tailgate boycott are successful, it is possible that with the current trade rumors out there, that Shedeur could get traded. There are already trade rumors. There are already trade rumors on the table that Shedeur could get traded to the Arizona Cardinals. So if the boycott is successful, can you say that the pressure from the fans made a difference and the Browns feel the need to move away from Shedeur so fans can return to the game? Boycott the Browns and see what happens. Now, some people believe Shedeur is closest to the pen to play after Dillon because Dillon isn't that good. But Stefanski has been steadfast on playing Dillon even though they aren't losing. And what's happening if you aren't trying to win? You're trying to lose. But the unexpected has happened. And what is the unexpected? The unexpected is that fans have finally, seemingly, had enough and are possibly organizing a boycott of the Browns game. And the first signal to that is selling off their tickets for $4, which means they don't want the tickets at all. If they're willing to only get $4 for something that they maybe have paid $158 for. Now, it's a known fact that the Browns have the lowest prices of tickets of any of the teams when it comes to season tickets. So if fans are willing to let go for $4, maybe they have had enough. But have they had enough to not go to the tailgate? Have they had enough to not attend the game? Have they had enough to not watch it on TV? Everybody knows you don't have to watch the game. You can watch the highlights. That's been my protest. That's been my boycott. I don't watch the games. I don't watch the highlights. I just watch the stats because I speak Statanese and I talk about the stats. I can look at the stats like I did versus the Jets. If I don't see Shedeur Sanders' stat line, then he's not playing in the game. And there's no need for me to care about what happens. All I had to do last week was check Dillon's completions and attempts, 17 of 32, to know that that's 50%, which is straight trash. But did they take him out the game? Now, one thing Kevin Stefanski did this week was flip on the dime. And what do I mean by that? He's changing his tune. It's not that he's going to play Shedeur, but he's being nice when it comes to talking about Shedeur. He's being complimentary of Shedeur. That's different for Kevin Stefanski. What changed? I say it's because they realize he's a legal liability. Could it be their sponsors, Huntington Bank? Could it be their other big sponsor, Bud Light, who are saying, look, the fans are starting to revolt. And if they don't come to the games, they're not going to buy our products. They're not going to bank with us if you continue mistreating Shedeur. And he's a legal liability as a head coach if he chooses to treat Shedeur differently than Dillon. So is it possible if the fans boycott this weekend versus the Browns, which they should do, that the sponsors like Bud Light and Huntington Bank will lean on the Browns to either fire Kevin Stefanski because the fans refuse to come to the game. The fans refuse to come to the game and buy Bud Light. The fans refuse to come to the bank and give us some more money. That, hey, we got to do something. We got to move Kevin Stefanski or we got to move Shedeur if y'all want to keep Kevin Stefanski. Now, keeping Kevin Stefanski in Cleveland is definitely their right. And not even 48 hours ago, they let everybody know we're keeping Kevin Stefanski. Even moving out their chief strategy officer who in the beginning liked Kevin Stefanski, but towards the end, not so much. But instead of moving out Kevin Stefanski, they moved out Paul DePodesta. And they blamed him for the culture. But here's the thing. DePodesta is a strategy officer on whether or not we're going to pursue oil and gas or add this or that, the strategy for the team, not the culture. The toxic culture comes from Kevin Stefanski because he's the boss when Haslam is away. He's the boss of what goes on and Berea at their practice facility. Not Andrew Berry. He's an office guy. And who did they rush to blame first? Even though they lost to the Jets, Andrew Berry. So instead of giving Andrew Berry the Podesta's job, they decided not to replace that job. So are they planning to move out Andrew Berry for, say, I don't know, Peyton Manning? And that's where all the talk of the Manning kid coming out this year, which failed, is about. So now they're going to wait for him to come out in 2027. So that explains why Dylan Gabriel is still on the field, even though he's not good. The Browns don't want to win with Shedeur Sanders. We know this. But the Browns fans, whether they understand why it is they don't want to play with Shedeur, they seemingly or maybe have finally had enough. So calling for the boycott is a huge step. Just like Kevin Stefanski deciding to be complimentary of Shedeur Sanders is a huge step. And why is that? Yes, he's a legal liability, but there's also pressure for him to be different because he's a legal liability. And now that fans are selling off their tickets, even though they already bought them, and the Browns team really don't care because y'all bought these tickets already. If you want to sell them for $2, that's your fault. But if you stay home and the stadium is empty and all you see is the seats, they do care about being embarrassed, or maybe they don't, but the sponsors do, like Bud Light, because who's going to be there to buy up all the Bud Light if y'all stay home? The boycott is huge. The pressure is thick. So who's boycotting the Browns versus the Ravens this weekend? Understand, it matters. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Shout out to Jake. Welcome. Shout out to RJ. Welcome. Y'all hit the follow button. I'll be on here regularly. I'm on YouTube every night at 10:35 p.m. I will be tonight talking about the trade that has ensnared Shedeur Sanders, that if the boycott is successful, could be the pressure on the Browns to trade Shedeur Sanders. So one thing could have a domino effect on another. If the fans stay home and boycott versus the Ravens and don't go to the tailgate, then who's going to be there to buy the Bud Light? Who's going to be there to buy the beer? Are people going to want to favorably go open bank accounts at Huntington Bank if the Browns continue to mistreat Shedeur Sanders? Sponsors can add pressure, which can make the Browns trade Shedeur for Kyler Murray. Now, that's bad for Kyler Murray. It's good for Shedeur Sanders. Or is it? I'm going to talk about that tonight at 10:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so y'all join me on YouTube. If you're just now joining us, we're asking who is boycotting the Browns versus the Ravens this weekend and why it matters. Pressure. Finally, after decades of being called some of the most loyal fans in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns fans seemingly are ready to boycott going to the game. My question is, I've seen y'all tailgates. I've seen y'all have fun out there at those tailgates. I know that they have a VIP tailgate section. Are y'all willing to stay home from the tailgates? Because they aren't free either. Are y'all going to get up at 5 a.m. and get dressed and do your TikToks and run out there to the tailgate while Shedeur Sanders is still being mistreated in Cleveland by head coach Kevin Stefanski? And yes, Kevin Stefanski decided to be complimentary of Shedeur, which is just optics. Because why? He's still holding Shedeur back. So in one hand, I'm telling you, he's doing well. He's practicing the red zone drill. He stayed late. He's a good quarterback. But on the other hand, I'm still not playing him. The pressure needs to get thick enough so they're going to play Shedeur Sanders or they're going to fire Kevin Stefanski. And I say it's a fire Stefanski kind of week coming up. Because what are the Browns going to do if Stefanski, who's already declared that Dylan is the guy, who's already been sacked 17 times and is obviously not an NFL quarterback, goes out here and lose to the Ravens? Is it going to be bench Dillon, fire Kevin Stefanski, or is it going to be trade Shedeur Sanders? What's the priority in Cleveland? It's not to win games. Is it to save the quarterback's seat, to let Dillon keep it warm for Arch Manning, who's coming out of school in 2027, now that the 2026 year didn't go so well? What's the priority this weekend again against the Browns? Is it to let Dillon get a participation trophy, or is it to win the game? Because the Browns know they can't win with Dillon without rigging the game against Lamar Jackson. And just in case you don't know, there was a hit piece done in the media by Lamar Jackson, against Lamar Jackson, who is a two-time MVP. And this hit piece declared that Lamar is overrated and he did not earn his MVPs. The same publication that put out a hit piece on Lamar Jackson not 24 hours ago and 48 hours from kickoff with the Browns suggested today that Shedeur is being traded to Arizona for Kyler Murray. And that's exactly what should happen. So first, I'm doing a hit piece on Lamar Jackson, who's a two-time MVP, and saying he's overrated as a quarterback. And 24 hours later, I'm suggesting that Kyler Murray be traded to the Browns for Shedeur Sanders on the same day that Kevin Stefanski decides to be complimentary of Shedeur. So you tell me what y'all are thinking. Who's going to boycott the Browns to turn the pressure up to fire Stefanski? Who's going to stay away from the tailgate, the VIP tailgate, the regular people's tailgate, and stay away from the game? Turn the TV off because it's fire Kevin Stefanski. Now understand this, if the Browns don't make the trade with Arizona for Kyler Murray, and I don't think they should, because I don't think Shedeur should be QB2 behind anybody, because he will go over there as a backup quarterback. That would just start the clock for the end of this year and all of next year for him to sit on the bench and rot, thereby wasting his talent. I don't like that one bit. Therefore, it's fire Kevin Stefanski. It's turn the TV off. Stay home. Don't go to the game. Don't go to the tailgate. Let the beers just sit there. Bypass Huntington Bank. Show them that you mean business, because the consumer has the power. The consumer has the power. So, who's boycotting the Cleveland Browns this weekend versus the Ravens? I'm checking in the comments to see what y'all are saying. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, Eddie. How you doing? Welcome, Shane. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome, Maria. How you doing? If you're just not joining us, we're asking who's boycotting the Cleveland Browns this weekend. What is the impact if the fans stay home, don't tailgate, don't go to the games, don't buy any of the beers, bypass the bank? Is it enough to get Kevin Stefanski fired? Is that what it's going to take to get Kevin Stefanski fired? We're talking about one of the most loyal franchises and one of the best tailgates in all of the NFL, with the lowest tickets in the NFL when it comes to season tickets. Let me know your thoughts. I want to hear from you. And as soon as I find out how to turn on music, I'm going to. Shout out to the 141 people who hit the like button. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm live at 10:35 on YouTube. We're going to be talking about this conversation over there. So how's everybody doing? How did y'all find me? Let me know. And thank y'all for sticking out with the podcast. And if you don't know, I'm Nola Girl for What She Said Sports. Just now joining us, Deshaun Watson will return to practice after the Ravens game. But before we get to that, Who's boycotting the Browns versus the Ravens? If you don't know, you don't have to watch the game. Stay home, turn the TV off. Don't watch the game. You can watch the highlights. You can watch the highlights. Hit the follow button. I'll be here again probably tomorrow. Who knows? More often. As I finally downloaded TikTok Studio on my my laptop. Let's see. It said you moved. It said you moved. What's that? You moved. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know who's boycotting the Browns versus the Ravens this weekend. Anybody from Cleveland? Anybody in the comments from Cleveland? Let me know. Make sure you share the live so more people can attend next time. Make sure you share the live stream. I'm waving at everybody that's in here. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, Christy, how you doing? All right, I got about 9 more minutes before I get out of here because I got to hop over to YouTube and go live at 10:35 and see who is boycotting the Cleveland Browns versus the Ravens. Anybody in here from Cleveland? Shout out to CJ2, C2J. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Z, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, Z. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Hunter02, how you doing? If any of you follow Travis Hunter, I don't know if y'all already heard, but he's out for 6 weeks. Kyler Murray, they trying to put him on the trade block. Hit piece done on Lamar Jackson, all of our favorite quarterbacks. All of our favorite quarterbacks. And there's a call to boycott the Browns. Behind who? Another one of our favorite quarterbacks, Shedeur Sanders. And since y'all are new over here to me at What She Said Sports, you can shop for all of your Shedeurian merch at whatshesaidsports.com. Auntie and Unc, we got y'all covered. We show love to Shedeur Sanders. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We just asking. I just want to see if anybody gonna drop and let me know who plans to boycott the Cleveland Browns. Shout out to Mel. How you doing, Mel? Anybody in here from Cleveland? I'm Speed. I'm Spad. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Anybody from Cleveland? Turbo, how you doing? How you doing? Waiting to see who's in here from Cleveland. Let's see. Somebody left me a message. Let's see who's in here from Cleveland. Waiting to see who's from Cleveland. I want to know if anybody in Cleveland that already has season tickets have either sold their tickets, or y'all going to the game, or y'all staying away from the game, or you staying away from the tailgate. Did you sell your tickets? How much did you sell them for? Is there really a boycott happening on the ground, or is it just the media? That's the conversation we want to know about. I hope that this is the game that they all stay home. I hope. That's the hope. So y'all let me know. I got to figure out how to get music on here too. Welcome, 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 Dylan. How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Don't forget, y'all can join me at 10:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. In a few minutes, I'm getting ready to hop off and head over there. Thank you for everybody that joined. I'll be back, so make sure y'all follow me, turn on notifications, so y'all can hang out with me again. So if you're just not joining us, there is a trade rumor that Shedeur Sanders could be traded, and it has legs. How do y'all feel about Shedeur being traded? Do you think he should be traded to Arizona, or do y'all think that he should stay in Cleveland because Dylan is going to fall out at some point? Just let me know your thoughts. Hey, Dougal, how you doing? Hey, Juan, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? So that's the question that's on deck right now. Do y'all think the trade to Shedeur to Arizona is a good idea? for Kyler Murray? That's the question. All right, so I guess I'm getting ready to get out of here. I dropped the question in the chat. I guess I could pin it. Let's see if I can pin it, and I can come back. All right, the question is pinned at the top. Should Shedeur be traded to Arizona? Is that a good trade? How you doing? How you doing, Ayo? How you doing? Axel, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? So we get ready to close out, and I'm going to take a break and get ready for my 1035 podcast on YouTube for What She Said Sports. So if y'all see this question after the podcast is live, I pinned it to the top. Should Shedeur be traded to Arizona for Kyler Murray? Let me know if you think it's a good trade. And who's boycotting the Cleveland Browns? If it means he will be treated right and can start, absolutely. Okay, I'm going to pin that. Okay. Now, here's the thing. He probably won't be the starter. So if they're going to treat him right, and I like what you said, who cares? If they're going to treat him right, but he'll be a backup, like a QB2 or a QB3, do you think he should be traded? I pinned your comment to the top as well, Lisa. At least I believe I did. Or it's up there somewhere. Yeah, it's pinned. It's pinned. So I like that response. Thank you for the followers that just joined. How you doing? How you doing, Jose? Thank you. The question of the day. There's a trade rumor out there that Shedeur could be traded to Arizona. Should Shedeur, is it a good idea to trade Shedeur to Arizona for Kyler Murray, even if the goal is not for him to be traded as a QB1? I don't think he should be traded as a QB2 or a QB3, because I feel like what that does is it just starts the clock for him to go through this same being held back process at the end of this year and all of next year. And then they'll trade him again and again, but he'll never get to QB1 because the goal is to make Shedeur not get to keep him away from QB1. That's actually the goal. That's actually the goal. And with the goal of holding back Shedeur Sanders, just trade and hold seems to be what the plan is. So with Kevin Stefanski starting to be complimentary of Shedeur Sanders, not because it's genuine, but maybe because of external pressure, like he's a legal liability, or because the sponsors are afraid that fans are selling their tickets for $4, that they won't come to the stadium, or that maybe there's a boycott and fans will stay home. Pressure. Because of pressure, Kevin Stefanski has decided to be complimentary of Shedeur Sanders. So, do you believe that the trade rumor is a good fit for Shedeur, for Kyler Murray to come to Cleveland? And I think that's bad for him because it would kill his career, especially with them wanting to keep Stefanski. And for Shedeur to be traded as a QB2 or QB3 as a backup to Arizona behind another quarterback, who would be the starter? He would not be the starter. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. All right, so we're going to get out of here. I'll be back next time. Look for me again. Penelope said, I agree. All right, see, Penelope, you got it. You got it. Let's see. Can I pin yours? I can pin your comment. Okay, so I pinned Penelope's comment that I can agree. There's like 3 pinned comments. Y'all check those out. I'll be back tomorrow. Turn on your notifications. We'll start having these conversations that we have on other platforms over here. Not if he can't start. There you go. So who cares said it's not a good trade if Shedeur can't start. I totally agree. I totally agree. Shedeur is a QB1. No matter how much they lie, no matter how much they ignore his talents, his skill set, understand the goal is to keep him away from QB1 at any cost, including lying and saying he's not good. And what did Mary Cabot say yesterday? That it's not fair for Shedeur to start for 8 games and Dylan is only started 4 games. Because then if Shedeur gets in the game and there's 8 starts for him and he doesn't do well, then that's too much for him to handle. I'm like, excuse me, why the hell wouldn't they just make adjustments? See, they don't want to admit that Kevin Stefanski is failing the team because he refuses to make adjustments. So I have a top 10 list of reasons why Kevin Stefanski should be fired, and I'll be back tomorrow to talk about them with you on What She Said Sports on TikTok. All right, y'all. So I have pinned y'all's comments. Hopefully y'all can see them after the live stream and comment, keep the conversation going under the comments. Is it a good idea for Shedeur Sanders to be traded to Arizona in exchange for Kyler Murray, especially if Shedeur Sanders will be traded as a backup and not the QB1? And more importantly, who's boycotting the Cleveland Browns this Sunday versus the Ravens? Keep that conversation going in the comments. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports on TikTok. See y'all next time. Thank you. Oh, Penelope says she's boycotting. Yay! All right, me too, Penelope. Me too. Me too. And hopefully, if you haven't already, join us on YouTube. I'm going live at 10:35. You can catch us over there daily. Yes, I am boycotting as well. I sure am. Watch the highlights. Don't watch the game. Stay home. Don't go to the tailgate. Don't buy the beers. Don't go to the bank. Stay away. Like, make it happen this week. Stay away. All right. I'm going to see y'all next time. Thank you, Penelope. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you, Who Cares. I appreciate the engagement. I appreciate the commentary. Keep it going in the comments, guys. I've pinned the questions in the comments to keep it going. Bye. See y'all later. Now I got to figure out how to get out of here. I have no idea. Let's see. This is hilarious. I have no idea on how to get out of here. That's so funny. I came in here and maybe I just click off. I don't know. That's so funny. Hopefully next time I can find music. Y'all tell me how to turn on the music. I'm going to have to go read the instructions. All right. I'm out. Peace.